you know, and what's cool isn't being a good student or, you know, trying to achieve academically. It's like, you know, I don't want to go into all the depraved things, you know, these kids are interested in. I've got two of my young children that grew up in my neighborhood are now both teddy bear poles because they both thought it was cooler to go that way than to stay in the school. The other kid that hung out with him is now an honors English teacher at Sheffield. So, you know, something different clicked in him. He comes back to my house every once in a while. Makes me feel good. That was one thing I've done in life.
So how would you address that particular one? I mean,
how would you make it cool?
as a city council? If you don't know, that's okay. You can say
Dude,
no,
I'd
no.
get on my vans and I'd go to the skate park and I'd hang out with these kids and I'd talk to them about astrophysics and solving the world's problems, you know. And we need more people. And we got people like that. There's mentors in this town. There's mentors or woman tours or, you know, whatever they are. But I mean, we've got them in town. We just need to figure out a way of, man, it works. My friend OC that runs at Rice Community Center, you know, at first he's whooping the kids. Actually, I shouldn't start picking on him. Or George Reed's down big, you know, all over town we've got these guys that really commit themselves to providing a safe place for kids to come to after school, where they can get help and tutoring if they need it, where they're encouraged and rewarded for whatever they did achieve academically. That might be the only place they get it. You know, they go home, they might not get it, man. Like, I mean, some of these households are kind of rough. My friend who's the honors teacher at Sheffield, he used to have to steal his mom's checks every month and come hide in my yard. Every month, cops would come over and, Scott, you know where D'Angelo is? Oh, D'Angelo, who's D'Angelo? And so, you know, these kids have got to have someplace else to go sometimes. And that's one of the, I mean, again, key things that city council could be doing. Instead, we've been on a trend to privatize our community centers. It isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it could be, because you hand over a community center. You know, Memphis Athletic Ministries is doing good with, I think they've got 4 or 5 now that they've taken up for the city. But as soon as that worked there, then the city council, I mean, it was on the agenda several times last year. They kept delaying it because they knew that the public was resistant to it, but they started floating the idea of, we're going to put all of our community centers up for bid. We're going to absolve ourselves of the responsibility of providing amenities to our citizens, and instead we can spend that money building boat docks or giving handouts to Bass Pro or whatever. And we need to be reinvesting in those things. We need to be making them better. Not just maintaining them at the current level that they're at now, but, you know, innovation and, you know, bring more people in, more mentors and women tours, you know, working in those facilities and pay them decent, you know, so that you get good people in there and publicize it, make it available.
What if it's number 3? I know. I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
I gotta keep you on track. I'm sorry.
You know, this sounds wrong from a guy who's dropped out of college 3 times, but we need to have kids that are committed to furthering their education, not only in pursuit of a better paying job, but in pursuit of developing the tools that they can bring back to their community to make their own community stronger. And this troubles me when I read reports about now we've got black flight going on in DeSoto County. And I see it. You know, people are like, man, the hood's gotten too rough, man. I finally got, you know, my wherewithal. I'm out of here, too. Close to the ministers in North Memphis. Guys that came up in those neighborhoods and founded churches, they now live in Collierville or Cordova or elsewhere. They drive into town to, you know, help out their flock or whatever. I think it would help their flock more if they actually stayed in the neighborhood and served as, a rock.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, well, so
Guys,
just
do you
kind
have
of,
any other ones? Because we're at the time.
just kind of wrapping up some more technical questions, and I think Martha hinting at it, about making education a priority in your campaign, and then I think we can assume that you would as a council member. But just in our endorsements, we want to make sure our candidates are speaking out. And
I haven't set my yard sign to the screen print burner yet.
All right.
The cardboard all just arrived at my house this morning. It was the highest recycled content cardboard I could get. Amy wouldn't let me use plastic because, she has these nightmares about the little islands of plastic in the oceans and stuff. And like I did in 2003, we'll be screening them ourselves. I used to make T-shirts and stuff, and so I'll put education on there. But I've got to figure out how it can fit in. What is it we're saying about?
We can have those talks.
Better education, more education.
And then technically, in terms of your campaign structure currently, what does that look like, and how would an endorsement from Stand for Children, what types of help would you need as an endorsement from Stand for Children?
Well, I would love the ability to mail your membership. I don't know how large it is, but I think that would be a very meaningful mailing. And I would love, a little help on the ground. My business got busy, and everybody put, or at least I did, and most of the other candidates. Some of these candidates seem like they had their plans in place years ago or something. I don't know, but got kind of a late start on it just because of the redistricting thing and just people not being sure about it. And so I feel like I'm running late because now we're about 4 weeks out from early voting. Like I said, I just got my yard sign materials. I'm putting the final touches on a 4-fold, cheap, one color, not all that glossy stuff flyer that simply has a reprint of an article that the Commercial Appeal did about me and Amy, because we'd really just like people to know who we are as people. But then, mine not pulling any punches, calling the city government out on their lack of interest in representing the people of District 7, but also Memphis and entirety. I mean, like, Vecca. They gave $9.75 million. They gave a whole year's budget for repairing existing sewers to Mitsubishi and tried to do it without anybody noticing at all. I was the only guy to pull the card and was like, wait, what's up with this? Lowry says, well, Scott, it's going to Mitsubishi. Well, what are we telling to these people who are paying taxes on their houses in Vecca and having sewage come up in their basements all the time? So I'm going to be running that kind of campaign. I'm going to be kind of, I'll let you guys know, you've seen the website to some extent. It's kind of radical. I'm not talking about the vote for a good-looking guy that gets along with everybody. I'm running these are the things that Memphis needs to be talking about. This is what your council has not been doing for you. The council has just not practiced oversight at all. These monies, huge amounts of monies, coming into this town that are supposed to be addressing issues of poverty, and instead we're spending it on large-scale building projects where developers make huge amounts of money on the front end of the deal, and they don't even care if they last. When they build uptown, they didn't really care whether uptown lasts or not. They made all their money building it. Same could be said for this pyramid. They're not worried about whether the pyramid actually works out and is a great thing. They're worried about all the money that gets made turning it into the pyramid or turning it into Bass Pro. It's something that people in Memphis just haven't held their government accountable. I mean, it's our own faults. Mine less so than other people, because I have been, bitching and complaining here as a voice in the wilderness on many occasions. But again, that's why I stand for children, because y'all just came up and said, man, we're going to start doing something about it, and doing it effectively in numbers and in terms of the, I think, respectful response that you've gotten from the media. I still don't know if you've gotten a respectful response from government at all. You guys can tell me more about that. But.
Okay.
Well, great.
All right, that's good.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
It won't hurt my feelings.